Hi, welcome to the I Am A Manifestor show. I'm Linda Willow Roberts. You're on A1R Psychic Radio. Wow, what an intensive sort of week that it's been. Let's just talk about the energy for a moment. I'm going to take a couple of callers, but I just want to talk about the energy. So the 3rd and the 4th, we're coming into a full moon in Gemini, and Mercury retrograde starts. So that means the full moon won't be so as intense as it normally is, but I can feel the build-up already. But I've found so far that the Mercury retrograde with this full moon is showing us some illusions. So showing us some things that aren't really true for us, but they're happening, and the drama is happening outside of us. So try really hard not to get drawn into the drama, to stay with your inner beliefs and your strength and you, and don't get involved in how the movie is playing out in front of you. Now remember, we're all a part of our own story, and in this, we are the writers, the producers, the editors of our story. But sometimes when we can step back from it, we can actually watch the movie unfold. So we can sit back and watch. Every person in our lives is for learning, to help us grow, to show us things, to be joyful in our lives, and they're all playing their own part in the movie. So just remember, as the full moon's building and Mercury starts coming into retrograde, so it's 3 days before, 3 days after, that it's quite, when it's at its most, I suppose, impact to us. So just when something comes up and you start being drawn into the drama of things, and there's situations that are creating things for you to learn from, just remember that it's a movie. Have a breath, stand back, and take a look at what's unfolding for you. Now, full moon tide, you know that the full moon moves our oceans. It moves our tides, and we're all full of water. So drink more water, please. Stay hydrated. The tired and the sluggishness, that can actually be because we're dehydrated. So remember, the moon moves the water, and we are nearly all water. I wanted to have a look at the energy. You know that I'm using the I'm A Manifestor Magical Oracle cards, which are my own cards that are published by a White Light publishing house.com.au. If you go over to their Facebook page at the moment, White Light Publishing House Bookshop, they have a great competition at the moment, 12 days before Christmas. It's a big green post, so hop on there, read the comments, and see what you need to do to enter that competition. So that's really great. But I just want to pull a card out just to see where we are manifesting and what we need to work with at the moment. And this is what the card is that came up. It's called What's My Next Step? This is the wild card in the pack. When this comes up, that means that we're trying to figure out what it is our next step is, okay? 2017 starting to wind up. We're thinking about 2018. Perfect time at the moment to release and cleanse and purge, and start thinking about what is my next step. So when that card comes up in the pack, we shuffle again and we go, what is my next step? What do you want me to move forward to for my highest good? And so that's what we put in the tent out to Spirit for our highest good. And this card came up, and it's protection. So this is actually saying that we need to call in Spirit, putting a white light around us, Archangel Michael to come in and clear and cleanse the energies. To when I'm talking about Mercury retrograde and other people influencing us with the drama that goes around them, I say to somebody in my mind, when I finish a conversation, I give back to you, that is yours with love and light, and I take back from you, that is mine with love and light. So the energy goes back to where it is. So this is how the end of the year is winding up, that we're learning to put the energy back where it needs to be, not get involved in the drama, to protect ourselves. If I go out and I'm in a crowd or a lot of people, I bring my energy back into me so it's not out there in everybody else's business. So these are some of the things that we're looking at as we wind up the lessons for 2017. And we're looking at the reflections. So remember, Mercury retrograde is all about rehashing, revitalising, going over things. So if something from your past comes up, it's because we haven't dealt with it. So we need to get rid of it and let it go. So there's just a couple of tips and things to do as we're moving forward. Excuse me. I'd like to say hello to everybody that's on the Facebook Live. Everybody that's listening, I'm so very grateful that you come in and you listen and we can talk and just talk about getting what it is that we want. The first caller that we've got is Alex in Carson, Mississippi. Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm all the way over here in Tasmania, Australia.
A long ways from here, ma'am.
Well, I certainly am. So I'm manifesting. I'm a psychic medium, and I'm also using my Am A Manifestor magical oracle cards to help you manifest what it is that you want for your highest good, because that's what we deal with when we incorporate spirit. So, Alex, how can I help you today?
I was hoping you could tell me on it. I mean, I deal with a lot of things in my life. I was needing a little help looking forward on things.
Okay, so the cards that I was just shuffling the cards to see what the energy was to start with, Alex, and the what's my next step card came up. And that's, I feel like, is very attuned to what everybody's thinking at the moment, and yourself as well, is what do I do next? That's the hardest thing, isn't it, is what do I do next? What can help me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just shuffle the cards and I want to see in relation. So I'm putting the intent out to Spirit to ask for you, Alex, in Carson, Mississippi, what help that we can help you with manifesting what it is that you want, and how you want your life to evolve, because that's what we're doing. Now, the card came up and it was the career card. And so this is telling me that you're probably thinking about what your next step is career-wise and what you should do for your life purpose. So I don't feel like that you've actually quite nutted that out. Would that be right, Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So to get your life purpose and the things that you love doing, you need to find what you're passionate about. So you need to find and do things that, you know, have made you really happy. Things that we thought of when we were kids, and we had all the educational things and conforming into a box. You know, what made you happy? What made your eyes light up and your heart sing and your soul, you know, just be so pleased that you're doing it? That's when we start to find what we should do career-wise or for our life purpose. I can talk about spiritual stuff for hours, Alex, and it gives me energy and it just makes me light up. So there's things, and I feel like that you're an outdoor person. I feel like that you need to do things outdoors, even with animals. And I really feel like you with animals outdoor, it gives you energy. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to work with animals?
A little bit, yes, ma'am.
So are you working with animals at the moment?
A little bit. Not too much,
Okay.
But a little bit I am.
Okay, so I feel like that, how can I put it, rocks your world. So if you can do more of that, even if you need to volunteer to get your foot in the door somewhere, I really think that you in nature and animals, you just have a bond. You seem to understand them. Are you an animal whisperer, Alex?
You could say that. I haven't
You
ever
know
been
what
bitten by a dog that they say is vicious.
Pardon?
I've never
Sorry,
been bitten by a dog that anybody says is vicious.
I think that you understand and know exactly what they're thinking.
Pretty much, man.
So that's where you you connect, and you connect their mind, body and soul. It's an extension of you. So now what you do to put yourself in the position of being able to work there, because, you know, it's life. We need to get the mundane things like money in and pay our bills and all those sorts of things. You do more of that. Like I said to you, if you can work at doing it and volunteer and being in that circle, then you start saying to Spirit, if this is for my highest good, if this is for the highest good of all, because that's what we work with. We work with the highest good of all. And all, I don't just mean humans, I mean any living thing on this planet. You know, then guide me in a way to do what I'm here to do.
Yes.
So that's how you would put it, Alex, for your highest good and the highest good of all. Because when you're in service and you're helping humanity, the planet, the universe, Spirit will look after you and watch your back and direct you.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't be surprised if you go to something and somebody says, oh, did you know this was available, or somebody's looking for help with this. Do you know? Really stay in the present moment instead of thinking about the future. And this career card that I pulled for you, that person on the card is in a vibration, a happy vibration. Money is flowing. The energy around them is a really good energy. So that would be the perfect thing for you to do. But animals, I just have you, you know, I've got and I have to tell you this, I've got on my wall, I went to Glastonbury, England this year, and I went and seen the Torah and the Glastonbury Abbey and the Holy Thorn Tree and the Chalice Well and all of those things. And I walked into a shop and I brought this wall hanging that has the Raven King on it. So it's a raven with a crown on it. And the reason that I got animal was because when I started talking to you about your life purpose, I looked out of something caught me out of the corner of my eye, and the Raven King's head moved. So I have a connection with birds, and they tell me things and I get to see things. So that's when I came into the animal things. I also think that you're connected to birds in a really strong way too, Alex. Would that be correct?
Yes, ma'am. I used to work in chicken houses a year ago.
Yep. But I think that you also have like a soul connection with them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I would really like to see you working with animals and at shelter and looking after injured animals and just taking care of them. I really think that that's the sort of thing that you'll be doing in the future. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Alex, I'll leave you with that. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
For your highest good and the highest good of all, Alex, and it'll be a wonderful thing that you're actually going to be looking after our animals.
I appreciate it, yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Alex.
You too, ma'am.
That was quite an amazing call. That's the Raven King. I wish I could show you. The Raven King's head sort of moved, and I looked out of the corner of my eye. But that's what happens. You just get messages. You just get guided. And to me, I trust it. I actually trust my connection with Spirit. See, that's the thing. When you're up and coming and you first do readings and first learning spiritual things, sometimes you don't trust what Spirit says. It makes no sense to you at all. But when you learn to trust it and you blurt out what Spirit's giving you and channeling through me, you just trust it. Because hopefully I've just helped Alex and he will, not just help him, but he'll help the animals that he works with as well and the environment. So remember, whatever he does, that energy is going to ripple out around him and affect people that are around him. So that's, that's just sometimes how you roll. You just have to trust what it is that you get. My next caller is Jillian from Wisconsin, USA. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Jillian.
Hello, Willow. How are you? I'm wonderful.
I'm wonderful for talking
excited.
to you. I'm
just excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to talk to you too.
Awesome.
Okay, so you know that I'm using my I'm a Manifestor Magical Oracle cards because I am a manifestor. And I never used to be, Jillian. The first half of my life was a bit tough, so I needed to make the changes in my life for myself and my daughter to actually have a better life. So that was why I started. But Jillian, how can we help you manifest what it is that you're going for in your life?
Well, I was wondering if you could just tell me what you see.
Okay, that's great. I'll do that. I'll pull a card for you.
Okay.
And let's see. So if we're manifesting for Jillian, so I'm putting the intent out to Spirit, who we love, because they can see everything. So I'm putting it out to Spirit to ask them, what can we help Jillian with, manifesting what it is for her highest good? Because that's how we roll, Jillian. We roll for your highest good.
Correct.
Let's have a look. Oh, we have the jigsaw puzzle card. I really like this one. I don't know if you can see it on the live feed if you have a look back, but it's the jigsaw puzzle card. So it actually has jigsaw pieces. And up in the corner of the jigsaw card is Horus. And Horus is an Egyptian archetype and a bird in flight, and he can see over everything. So isn't it funny? I just said to you, we asked for the highest good for you because Spirit can see everything, and then Horus appears on a card.
I've been told I have past life connections with Egyptian ties, but I have no idea what it's about.
Jillian, I could talk to you for hours. I went to Egypt last year, and it was the most amazing thing. We did private meditation up in the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid. We had private time and private access to the only living Sekhmet statue in Egypt. We flew down to Aswan and went out to Dendra, and it was just amazing. And the connections and the things that we saw there with our mortal eyes was amazing. But let's get back to you. So the jigsaw puzzle. It is, and do you know, when you're learning spiritually and you go to a spiritual site, it sort of breaks you through the glass ceiling and opens up another level. So you plateau a little bit when you're learning spirituality for so many years, that you need to get to these spiritual sites to break through to the next layer and connect with ancestral things, and, you know, Isis and Anubis and Sekhmet and Thoth. They're all amazing, and I absolutely had Hathors. I had connections with the Hathors, probably brought in about 4 or 5 years ago. Had no idea that I was ever going to go to Egypt, but anyway, that happened.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it is, and it was. Now, I want to talk about you, though. So these jigsaw pieces, on the card, have different scenarios. So there could be some kids there, and there could be some work there, and it could be this. Nothing's quite formed yet, and it gives you a little bit of a feeling like, do you know what? I'm going to read the card to you, because I think in the book that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to the jigsaw page jigsaw puzzle page in the book, and I just want you to read this. You can't, hear this. You can't see the whole picture. There's a feeling of anticipation, even a little anxiety, not entirely knowing why things aren't quite completing. Remember, when Spirit is putting your jigsaw pieces together, They have to wait for other people and the timing to be right for your highest good. Now, the affirmation for this in the book is, Spirit, I give to you this situation. So I give to you Gillian's situation that you, Spirit, know about. Please bring this into form for her highest good, this or something better. So that's why it's not sort of completing Gillian. That's why that it's not anything that you've done wrong or can or can't do. It's just free will. It's waiting for all the pieces to be together. So know that Spirit's up there working on your behalf. I think that's the best message that I could give you today, that Spirit is up there working on your behalf and putting the pieces together.
Like laying out a foundation.
Yeah, the foundation card didn't come up. I have got a foundation card in the pack. But I think the foundation part is more about you unpacking the things that you needed in the past to get rid of and forgive and release. I think that you've already done that part. You've done the self-loving part and looking after yourself and putting yourself and creating some boundaries in your life. You've done that. Now Spirit's just waiting for other people and other bits of the puzzle to become available for them to put it together. So it's not so much the foundation rather than I think that you've done the foundation work yourself, because that's really the work that we need to do ourselves. But this jigsaw part of it, this is Spirit putting things into places on your behalf. Because, like I said, Horace is on the card and he can see everything. Spirit can see everything. But sometimes when we're waiting on other people and they use their free will and make a choice that's not, Spirit has to wait for that to work out or not work out to put another piece in. So does that relate to your life at this point in time?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I had a near-death experience in December of last year, and I have beautiful blessings to channel angels and to see them and feel them. Yeah. And I have healing blessings.
And so do you feel that they're working up there on your behalf? Can you feel those jigsaw pieces coming together?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I see them flying in the camera. The angels yell at me to take pictures of them.
I do. You have got...
I couldn't believe it.
I wish we could share. I said I could talk to you for hours, Gillian. You ought to see some of the photos that I've taken. I would love
to talk to you. Or keep in touch with you.
I wish you lived around the corner. Tasmania is a bit too far away from Wisconsin. I actually have a photo that I took of a friend's bike in the bush here in Tasmania, and up in the trees I have my guides. There's an Indian and a Chinese man, and I blew the picture up and you could actually see them. In the picture, it was a black and white picture.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I live on a native burial ground, so I totally can relate to what you're talking about. Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. I say that wonderful in a good way, and you know that I mean that because such knowledge that you would have around you. But you can notice that in a black and white photo that you can have they throw a blue hue into it, and so I have a bear and I have a wizard with a blue hat and all of these things that I can see in the photo. So I blew it up and I take it to workshops and talks and things like that, so people can actually see what we get to see, and I believe that Spirit's showing us more and more and more, so that we're opening other people's minds.
So people will believe, correct. Do you have a Facebook page, Willow?
Yes, I do. It's I'm a Manifestor, Linda Willow Roberts. So that's right. Some believe and some don't, and that's okay. But people are starting to be shown things, just the basic things. We all have car parking angels. When we're going out and we ask for a car park somewhere, that one just becomes available. And so people are starting to work with Spirit to be able to live in synchronicity and trust. So what have you got in some of your photos?
Angels.
Have you?
All over the flying all over the place. I'll send them to you.
Oh, yes, please. That'd be just amazing. I've got a lovely orb photo between myself and my daughter with a picture of a lady in it, and it's actually my mum who's passed over. And
sorry.
It was absolutely. Oh no, that's fine. She flies in and out. I'm very lucky. I'm the youngest of 7 siblings, so I'm very lucky to still be in contact with her. Well, Jill, I need to leave it with you. Thank you very much for coming on, and I hope that your jigsaw puzzle comes together like you imagine or better for your highest good. Thanks, Jill.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you so much.
Bye. Isn't that wonderful? I just love how Spirit's showing themselves more and more and more, and you're talking to like-minded people and they get to see things, and it's exciting. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I'm a Manifestor on A1R Psychic Radio. You can get me at I'm a Manifestor Facebook page. I'm Linda Willow Roberts. You can find me on Holistic Bliss magazine. You can get my cards at whitelightpublishing.com.au. You can find them on Facebook, and they have an amazing, amazing competition at the moment. Talk to you next week. Please come and join me next week, and we'll discover some more manifesting tricks. Thank you.